Hello, I'm JT Tebehadi, and this is the first and an introductory episode of a very long and exciting season of The Underrated for the married and those that are contemplating marriage. Well then, welcome to it, and thank you ever so much for joining me. And of course, it is very important to note that viewers' discretion for this particular broadcast and the whole season thereof is strongly advised. And I do respect and acknowledge the fact that we may not see the same facts in the same way, and because of that particular fact, please do note that you are allowed to excuse yourself and desist from continuing watching this particular broadcast, because at the heart of it, it is not to destroy the underlying foundation and the premise upon which this whole broadcast and the whole season thereof will be a biblical foundation, and to be precise, a Christian biblical perspective. And I know that we have different takes on that particular regard, but that is what this whole broadcast is going to be propelled by. Outside of those principles, there isn't this broadcast. And let me just establish that from scripture in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 9, which says that two are better than one, for they shall receive good reward for their labor. And Mark chapter 10 verse 8 states, and the two shall be one flesh, and so they shall no longer be two, but one flesh. That is my understanding, that is my belief of what marriage is founded on, is based on, and what it's supposed to do. And because of that, we have a principle that we have to agree with. If we don't agree with it, then we're just going to be going around in different directions and around the same point. And here is where I want us to draw our energies and focus on, is that marriage, the beginning of marriage, is the beginning of a family. That's number one. Number two, the beginning of a marriage, the beginning of a family, is a lifelong commitment, and underline lifelong, which means that marriages should not come to an end. As a matter of principles, I know that many people are already thinking a lot of things, many auxiliary things that you may have heard about, that you've personally experienced. But if, like me, you believe and you were married in the Christian rites, in the biblical rites, where marriage is the institution that is God ordained and no man, then you would agree with me that marriage is supposed, this is how God originally intended marriage to be. If you are a Christian, it is intended to be a lifelong experience. If there are other experiences or commitments that are outside of this definition, I don't know much about them. I do not have any opinion on them. I only have an opinion and a personal experience on the basis of this foundation. And it's very important that I should state from the outset that, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a bumpy ride, but it's going to be a fun ride, because ultimately, whatever comes, rain or sunshine, we have to put back together the fundamentals of what marriage is supposed to be. And I can tell you now, after 20 years, I'm glad that I made the decision to get married. So having said that, let's see each other again. I'll give you the pointers in the next episode of The Underrated. I'm JT Tebehadi. God bless.